I believe everything happens for a reason. The universe holds a beautiful secret. Randomness is an illusion. Behind every disappointment, detour, and delay lies a perfect plan unfolding just for you. What if that closed door was protecting you from the wrong path? What if that unexpected no was guiding you to an even better yes? You're about to discover why life doesn't happen to you, but for you orchestrating every moment with divine precision. Lesson 1. Every no leads to a better yes. Life has a peculiar way of teaching us its most valuable lessons through rejection. Each time we hear no, we instinctively feel the sting of disappointment, yet hidden within that momentary pain lies an invisible thread leading us towards something far more aligned with our true path. Think of rejection as life's compass, quietly steering us away from what isn't meant for us and toward what is. I discovered this truth early in my career when I was desperately seeking my dream job at what I thought was the perfect company. I had prepared extensively for the interview, imagining myself walking through those glass doors every morning, yet the rejection letter arrived with brutal swiftness. The devastation felt overwhelming at the time, but 3 months later, an unexpected opportunity emerged at a smaller, more innovative company. This position not only offered greater creative freedom, but also introduced me to mentors who would shape my entire professional trajectory. This pattern repeats itself throughout our lives, in relationships, business ventures, and personal pursuits. The partner who doesn't choose us makes space for the one who will cherish us completely. The business loan that falls through forces us to refine our concept into something more viable. The house we lose in a bidding war spares us from unforeseen problems while leading us to a home that truly feels like destiny. These redirections serve as protective forces in our lives. They're not just random occurrences, but rather carefully orchestrated events designed to keep us aligned with our highest good. When we look back at our lives, we often find ourselves grateful for the very rejections that once brought us to our knees. Those no's were actually guardian angels in disguise, blocking paths that would have led us astray from our true purpose. The key lies in shifting our perspective from seeing rejection as a dead end to viewing it as a redirect. Each no carries within it the seeds of a better yes, one that more perfectly matches our authentic selves and genuine needs. This understanding doesn't necessarily make rejection easier to face in the moment, but it provides us with a framework for maintaining hope and trust in the process. Consider how nature itself operates through a series of redirections. Water flowing down a mountain doesn't stop when it encounters an obstacle. It simply finds another path. Plants grow towards sunlight, bending and adapting their direction as needed. These natural phenomena reflect a universal truth. The path to our destination isn't always straight, but it's always perfect. The challenge for many of us lies in maintaining faith during the gap between rejection and revelation. This is where personal growth occurs, in learning to trust that something better awaits us, even when we can't yet see it. This trust isn't blind faith, but rather a deep understanding that life consistently works in patterns of upgrade and improvement, even when it doesn't feel that way. We must also recognize that rejection often spares us from settling for less than we deserve. It prevents us from committing to situations that would ultimately limit our growth or happiness. In this light, rejection becomes a gift, a force that keeps us available for the opportunities and connections that truly serve our highest good. As we cultivate this perspective, we begin to approach life's no's with curiosity rather than fear. What might this rejection be making space for? What learning opportunity is embedded within this experience? These questions transform our relationship with rejection from one of defeat to one of anticipation for the better yes that inevitably follows. Lesson 2. Life's detours hide perfect gifts. Have you ever found yourself on an unexpected path, wondering why life seemed to veer off your carefully planned course? These moments of apparent misdirection often conceal the most extraordinary gifts, waiting to be discovered by those willing to embrace the adventure of the unknown. Life's detours are rarely random. They're carefully orchestrated diversions that lead us to experiences, people, and opportunities we might never have encountered on our original path. Think of it as the universe's way of taking us on a scenic route, one that might seem longer or more challenging at first, but ultimately enriches our journey in ways we couldn't have imagined. Consider the story of Sarah, who lost her corporate job during an economic downturn. Forced to take a temporary position at a local coffee shop to make ends meet, she discovered her true passion for creating artisanal beverages. What started as a necessary detour led her to open her own successful cafe, bringing joy not only to herself but to an entire community. Her wrong turn became the very path she was meant to take all along. These unexpected diversions often arrive disguised as inconveniences or obstacles. The flight delay that leads to a life-changing conversation with a stranger. The missed opportunity that pushes us to explore an entirely new direction. The relationship that doesn't work out, leading us to discover our own strength and independence. Each detour carries its own unique gift, wrapped in circumstances that might initially appear disappointing or challenging. The magic lies in our willingness to remain open to these unplanned moments. When we approach life's detours with curiosity rather than resistance, we create space for serendipity to work its magic. Sometimes, the most beautiful destinations are found off the beaten path, in places we never intended to explore. Life's detours also teach us invaluable lessons about adaptability and resilience. Each time we navigate an unexpected turn, we develop greater flexibility and trust in our ability to handle whatever comes our way. These skills become precious gifts in themselves, equipping us for future challenges and opportunities. The perfect gifts hidden in life's detours often extend beyond material benefits. They might come in the form of personal growth, deeper self-awareness, or meaningful connections. Perhaps a forced career change leads to discovering talents you never knew you possessed. Maybe a health challenge introduces you to a supportive community that becomes like family. These intangible gifts often prove more valuable than any predetermined destination we might have planned for ourselves. Sometimes, the greatest gift of a detour is the perspective it provides. Looking back, we often realize that what we thought was a deviation from our path was actually the path itself, leading us exactly where we needed to be. The detour becomes the destination, and the unexpected turn reveals itself as the perfect route all along. Embracing life's detours requires trust. Trust in the process, trust in timing, and trust in our ability to find our way. It means accepting that sometimes the most direct route isn't necessarily the best one, and that there might be experiences we need to gather along the way before reaching our ultimate destination. Lesson 3. Pain shapes you into diamonds. Life's most profound transformations often emerge from our deepest wounds. Just as a diamond forms under intense pressure and heat deep within the earth, our character and spirit become refined through the crucible of pain and adversity. This natural process of transformation, though uncomfortable and often heart-wrenching, holds within it the seeds of our greatest evolution. When we experience pain, whether emotional or physical, our initial reaction is to resist it. We question why this suffering has found its way to our doorstep and desperately seek escape routes. Yet, it's precisely in these moments of intense pressure that our true strength begins to surface. The pain we endure creates fissures in our old beliefs and patterns, allowing new light to penetrate the darkness of our struggles. Consider how a pearl forms within an oyster. What begins as an irritant, a grain of sand, becomes transformed through time and patience into something precious and beautiful. Our pain works in much the same way. The very experiences that wound us deeply become the catalyst for our most significant personal growth. A broken heart teaches us about love and resilience. A failed venture instills wisdom and determination. A loss connects us to our humanity and compassion. The process of being shaped by pain isn't passive. It requires our active participation. When we choose to remain conscious through our suffering, rather than numbing ourselves or running away, we begin to access the transformative power within our struggles. Each tear shed becomes a teacher, each sleepless night an opportunity for reflection, and each moment of despair a chance to discover our innate strength. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. Like the formation of a diamond, it requires time, pressure, and the right conditions. The key lies in our willingness to stay present with our pain while maintaining faith in the process. As we learn to sit with our discomfort, we begin to notice subtle shifts in our perspective. What once felt like unbearable suffering slowly reveals itself as the chisel sculpting us into more authentic, compassionate, and resilient beings. Our wounds, when properly tended to, become wellsprings of wisdom. They grant us the ability to connect more deeply with others who are suffering, to offer genuine empathy, rather than mere sympathy. The scars we bear become bridges of understanding, allowing us to reach across the divide of human experience and touch others with genuine compassion. The diamond analogy extends beyond mere transformation. Like a diamond's many facets, our pain creates multiple dimensions to our character. Each challenge we overcome adds another surface that reflects light differently, making us more complex and beautiful in our humanity. The pressure that once threatened to break us instead creates clarity, strength, and an unshakable core. Yet perhaps the most powerful aspect of this transformation is the realization that we are both the diamond and the creator. Through our response to pain, we actively participate in our own becoming. We learn to trust the process, to understand that our current suffering is not our final state, but rather a crucial step in our evolution. This understanding doesn't make pain easier to bear, but it gives it purpose. When we recognize that our struggles are shaping us into something more refined and beautiful than we could have imagined, we can approach our pain with a different perspective. We begin to see that our wounds aren't just random acts of cruelty by an indifferent universe, but rather precise instruments of transformation, working to reveal our true nature. Lesson 4. Trust the journey, not the plan. Life has a peculiar way of unfolding that often defies our carefully laid plans. We spend countless hours mapping out our futures, creating detailed strategies, and setting specific timelines for our goals. Yet, time and again, life shows us that the real magic lies not in our meticulous planning, but in our ability to trust the journey itself. When we grip too tightly to our plans, we create unnecessary stress and anxiety. We become rigid, missing the beautiful opportunities that appear unexpectedly along our path. Like a river that flows around obstacles rather than forcing its way through them, we must learn to be fluid in our approach to life. This doesn't mean abandoning all planning. Rather, it means holding our plans loosely, allowing room for divine intervention and unexpected possibilities. There's a profound difference between having a direction and demanding a specific outcome. When we trust the journey, we remain open to alternate routes and surprising destinations that might actually serve us better than our original intentions. Think of it as the difference between using a GPS that recalculates when we take a wrong turn versus stubbornly trying to force our way back to our planned route, potentially missing a more scenic or efficient path. Surrendering to the journey requires tremendous courage. It means stepping into the unknown with faith rather than fear. It means accepting that while we may not be able to see the entire staircase, we can trust that each step will appear as we need it. This surrender isn't passive. It's an active choice to remain present and engaged with life as it unfolds, rather than constantly fighting against what is. The journey often presents us with unexpected teachers, experiences, and growth opportunities that our limited planning could never have conceived. Perhaps you planned to become a doctor but found your true calling while volunteering at a community center. Maybe a cancelled flight led to a chance encounter with someone who would change your life. These moments of serendipity occur when we release our grip on how things should be and embrace what is actually unfolding. Trust in the journey also means understanding that timing is not always in our control. Sometimes the delay of our plans serves a greater purpose, allowing us to develop necessary skills, meet important people, or avoid unseen obstacles. What appears as a frustrating setback might actually be divine protection or preparation for something better. Learning to trust the journey requires developing a different kind of vision, one that looks beyond the immediate circumstances to see the larger pattern of our lives unfolding. It means recognizing that every experience, whether perceived as positive or negative, contributes to our growth and development. Like a tapestry being woven, we often can't see the full picture while we're in the midst of creation, but each thread serves its purpose in the final design. This trust doesn't mean we become passive observers in our own lives. Instead, it means we learn to co-create with the universe, remaining flexible and responsive to the signs and opportunities that present themselves. We maintain our goals and dreams while staying open to how they might manifest in ways we never imagined. The journey itself is where life happens, not in the achievement of our planned destinations. It's in the unexpected detours that we often find our greatest adventures, our most profound lessons, and our truest paths. When we trust the journey, we free ourselves from the burden of trying to control every outcome and open ourselves to the wisdom of something greater than our own limited perspective. Lesson 5. Today's puzzle solves tomorrow. Life often presents itself as a complex puzzle, with pieces that don't seem to fit in the moment. We find ourselves staring at circumstances that appear random, challenging, or even overwhelming, wondering how they could possibly serve any greater purpose. Yet, as time unfolds, these seemingly disconnected pieces begin to form a clear picture, revealing how today's challenges perfectly prepare us for tomorrow's opportunities. Consider how learning to navigate a difficult relationship with a demanding colleague develops patience and communication skills that later prove invaluable in managing a team, or how financial struggles in early adulthood foster resourcefulness and money management abilities that become crucial for future business success. These experiences, while challenging in the present, are actually building blocks for future achievements. The universe operates with an intricate intelligence that connects experiences across time. What appears as an obstacle today might be preparing you for an opportunity that hasn't yet materialized. That course you were forced to take because your preferred class was full could introduce you to concepts vital for a career path you haven't even considered. The delay in getting your dream job might be allowing time for you to develop essential skills or waiting for the perfect position to open up. This interconnectedness extends beyond professional development into personal growth. The heartbreak that feels unbearable today develops emotional resilience and self-understanding that will lead to deeper, more meaningful relationships tomorrow. The failure that seems devastating now builds the character and wisdom needed for future success. Each experience leaves an imprint, teaching lessons that become tools for navigating future challenges. Understanding this principle requires a shift in perspective. Instead of viewing current challenges as isolated problems to be solved, we can see them as preparation for future opportunities. This mindset transforms our approach to difficulties, encouraging us to look for the lessons and skills each situation offers rather than simply trying to get through it. Think of how a master chess player must think several moves ahead, understanding that each position on the board creates possibilities for future moves. Life works similarly. Today's experiences position us for tomorrow's opportunities. The skills we develop, the relationships we build, and the wisdom we gain through current challenges become the foundation for future success. Life's puzzle pieces often come with rough edges and unclear patterns. The project that pushes you beyond your comfort zone, the relationship that challenges your assumptions, the setback that forces you to reassess your path. These are all pieces of a larger picture that's gradually taking shape. Each piece, no matter how uncomfortable or challenging, contributes to your growth and preparation for future opportunities. Our lives are constantly building upon previous experiences, creating a tapestry of interconnected moments and lessons. The patience learned through waiting becomes the foundation for perseverance in pursuing long-term goals. The adaptability developed through change becomes the flexibility needed to seize unexpected opportunities. The resilience built through overcoming obstacles becomes the strength required for future challenges. Embracing this understanding transforms our relationship with present difficulties. Instead of resisting challenges, we can approach them with curiosity, wondering what future situation this experience might be preparing us for. This perspective helps us remain open to learning and growth, even in uncomfortable circumstances. Lesson 6. Closed doors guide your direction. Life has a peculiar way of redirecting our paths through closed doors, and while these barriers might initially feel like rejections or limitations, they often serve as divine compasses pointing us toward our true destiny. When we encounter a closed door, our natural reaction might be disappointment or frustration, but these moments of redirection hold profound wisdom and purpose. Consider how a river flows around obstacles, creating new pathways that often prove more beautiful and efficient than its original course. Similarly, when we face closed doors in our lives, we're being invited to explore alternative routes that might better align with our highest good. These boundaries aren't meant to restrict us, but to protect us from paths that wouldn't serve our ultimate purpose. The beauty of closed doors lies in their ability to narrow our focus and clarify our direction. When certain options are removed from our path, we're forced to look more closely at the opportunities that remain or discover entirely new possibilities we might have otherwise overlooked. This natural filtering process helps us align more precisely with our authentic path, even if we can't see it in the moment. Sometimes, what appears as a limitation actually serves as a foundation for innovation and creativity. History is filled with stories of people who, faced with closed doors, invented entirely new ways forward. Their constraints became catalysts for breakthrough ideas and unprecedented solutions. These boundaries challenged them to think differently, push beyond conventional approaches, and discover their unique contributions to the world. Closed doors also protect us from situations, relationships, or opportunities that might harm our growth or delay our progress. Like a parent child-proofing a home, the universe sometimes places barriers in our way out of love and protection. What seems like rejection or limitation often shields us from experiences we're not yet ready for, or circumstances that would lead us astray from our true purpose. When we learn to read these redirections as guidance rather than rejection, we develop a deeper trust in life's natural flow. Each closed door becomes a signpost, helping us navigate toward our authentic path. These boundaries create a framework within which we can explore and grow safely, much like riverbanks that guide water toward its ultimate destination. The wisdom of closed doors extends beyond mere direction. It often forces us to develop new skills, strengthen our character, or heal old wounds before moving forward. Sometimes, we need to grow into the person who can handle the opportunities waiting on our true path. The delay caused by a closed door provides the necessary time and space for this internal development. Perhaps most importantly, closed doors often lead us to discover our own resilience and creativity. When faced with barriers, we learn to adapt, innovate, and persevere. We discover strengths we didn't know we possessed and develop problem-solving abilities that serve us throughout our lives. Each closed door becomes an invitation to evolve and expand our capabilities. As we navigate life's journey, we can find comfort in knowing that closed doors are not endings, but redirections toward better beginnings. They're part of a greater design that knows our potential better than we do. By trusting these divine boundaries and remaining open to alternative paths, we allow ourselves to be guided toward experiences and opportunities that align more perfectly with our true purpose and highest good. Lesson 7. People enter to teach lessons. Every person who crosses our path arrives with a purpose, carrying lessons wrapped in their presence. Like skilled teachers appearing at precisely the right moment, these people shape our understanding, challenge our perspectives, and guide us toward growth. Some stay for a lifetime, while others briefly touch our world before moving on. Yet each interaction holds profound significance in our journey. Consider the difficult colleague who tests your patience daily. Their presence isn't a coincidence, but an opportunity to develop resilience, emotional intelligence, and professional grace. The challenging relationship that ended in heartbreak wasn't just about loss. It taught you about self-worth, boundaries, and the kind of love you truly deserve. Even the stranger who showed unexpected kindness during a tough moment demonstrated the power of compassion and reminded you of humanity's inherent goodness. These soul contracts, as many spiritual traditions call them, are agreements we make on a deeper level to help each other evolve. The angry customer who ruined your day might have been the catalyst you needed to find a better job. The friend who betrayed your trust likely taught you the importance of discernment and self-reliance. That mentor who believed in you when you didn't believe in yourself showed you the transformative power of faith and encouragement. Children often become our greatest teachers, showing us unconditional love, presence, and the joy of living in the moment. Elderly people share wisdom earned through decades of experience, offering perspectives we couldn't gain otherwise. Even those who hurt us deeply serve as mirrors, reflecting parts of ourselves that need healing or aspects of life we must learn to navigate. The beauty of these human connections lies in their reciprocal nature. While someone enters your life to teach you patience, you might be teaching them persistence. As you learn forgiveness from one person, you're showing another the power of authenticity. These exchanges create a tapestry of growth where every interaction contributes to collective evolution. Sometimes the lessons aren't immediately apparent. Years might pass before you understand why certain people appeared in your life. That seemingly random encounter could have planted a seed that would bloom into a life-changing opportunity years later. The person you initially disliked might become your greatest ally, teaching you not to judge based on first impressions. Understanding that people enter our lives as teachers transforms how we approach relationships. Instead of resisting difficult personalities or situations, we can ask ourselves, what am I meant to learn from this encounter? This perspective shift turns every interaction into an opportunity for growth, every conflict into a chance for understanding, and every relationship into a sacred classroom. The lessons come in various forms, some gentle, others challenging. The key lies in remaining open to the teaching, regardless of its packaging. That difficult family member might be teaching you boundaries. The supportive friend demonstrates the power of unconditional love. The competitive coworker pushes you to excel. Each person, whether they stay for a moment or a lifetime, contributes to your evolution. Remember that you too are a teacher in others' lives. Your actions, words, and presence carry lessons for those around you. By acknowledging this dual role of student and teacher in every relationship, you approach connections with greater awareness and responsibility. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to both learn and teach, to receive and give, to grow and help others grow. Lesson 8. Timing knows better than you. We often hear that timing is everything, but few of us truly understand the profound wisdom hidden within this simple phrase. Our lives unfold in a delicate sequence of moments, each one precisely orchestrated to serve our highest good, even when we can't see it. The universe operates on its own schedule, one that frequently conflicts with our carefully laid plans and earnest desires. Think of timing as a masterful conductor, orchestrating the symphony of your life. Just as each note in a musical piece must be played at the perfect moment to create harmony, the events in our lives arrive exactly when they should. This divine timing often feels frustrating, especially when we're eager for change or desperate for answers. We might feel ready for that relationship, that job opportunity, or that life transition, but the universe might be saying not yet. The beauty of divine timing lies in its perfect preparation. While we wait, unseen forces are aligning circumstances, preparing people, and creating conditions that will support our eventual success. It's like baking a cake. You can't rush the process. Try to remove it from the oven too soon, and you'll end up with an inedible mess. Allow it to bake for the proper duration, and you create something wonderful. Our personal timing often stems from ego, desire, and limited perspective. We see only what's immediately before us, while divine timing takes into account the vast web of interconnections that influence our lives. It's like wanting to harvest fruit before it's ripe. Our eagerness doesn't change the natural process of growth and maturation. The fruit will be sweet and nourishing only when it's ready, not when we demand it. Patience becomes a spiritual practice when we learn to trust in divine timing. It's not about passive waiting, but active faith, knowing that this moment of pause serves a greater purpose. During these waiting periods, we're often being prepared, strengthened, or protected. The job we wanted might have been wrong for us. The relationship might have been premature, or the opportunity might have led us away from our true path. Consider how often we look back on past disappointments with gratitude, recognizing that what seemed like bad timing actually saved us from mistakes or led us to something better. The relationship that didn't work out made space for the right person to enter our lives. The missed opportunity forced us to develop skills we needed for future success. The delayed dreams gave us time to grow into the person capable of handling them. Divine timing also teaches us to be present in the current moment, rather than always rushing toward the next thing. When we trust that everything comes at the right time, we can relax into the now, appreciating the lessons and gifts it contains. This presence allows us to notice subtle signs and synchronicities that might guide our next steps. Understanding divine timing shifts our perspective from frustration to fascination. Instead of fighting against delays or setbacks, we can ask ourselves what we're meant to learn or discover in this moment of waiting. Perhaps we need to develop patience, build resilience, or simply learn to trust in something greater than our own plans. Time itself becomes our teacher when we approach it with humility and trust. It shows us that readiness isn't just about desire, but about alignment. Of circumstances, of personal growth, and of universal forces we may never fully comprehend. Our role is to remain open and receptive, knowing that the right things will unfold at the right time, in the right way, for our highest good. Lesson 9. Seeds of change grow into blessings. Change often arrives in our lives as tiny seeds, barely noticeable at first glance. These seeds might appear in the form of a subtle thought, a chance encounter, or a small decision that seems insignificant in the moment. Yet, like the mighty oak that emerges from a humble acorn, these seeds contain within them the potential for extraordinary transformation and blessing in our lives. Consider how a simple shift in morning routine, perhaps waking up 30 minutes earlier, can gradually evolve into a profound spiritual practice that transforms your entire day. Or how a brief conversation with a stranger might plant the seed of an idea that eventually blossoms into a life-changing project or career path. These seeds of change require our attention, nurturing, and patience to flourish. The process of growth from seed to blessing mirrors nature's own wisdom. Just as a gardener cannot force a flower to bloom before its time, we must respect the natural progression of change in our lives. Each seed requires the right conditions to sprout. Some need the harsh winter of adversity to crack their shell, while others thrive in the gentle spring of opportunity. Our role is to create fertile ground in our lives through openness, acceptance, and conscious cultivation of positive habits. Sometimes the seeds we plant may seem to lie dormant for years before suddenly sprouting into unexpected blessings. That random act of kindness you performed a decade ago might return to you through a series of fortunate connections. The hobby you started on a whim could evolve into a passionate pursuit that brings both purpose and prosperity. These delayed blooms remind us that timing is divine and no positive action is ever wasted. The beauty of this process lies in its ripple effect. As our personal seeds of change grow and flourish, they often scatter new seeds into the lives of others. A transformation in our own life can inspire similar growth in our family, friends, and community. Like a garden that becomes more abundant with each passing season, our positive changes create a legacy of blessing that extends far beyond our initial planting. Understanding this principle helps us approach life's challenges with greater patience and hope. That difficult situation you're facing today, its soil being prepared for future growth. The small steps you're taking toward your dreams, their seeds being planted for tomorrow's harvest. Even moments of doubt and uncertainty serve to water these seeds with experience and wisdom. We must also, not every seed will grow as we expect. Sometimes what we plant with one intention transforms into something entirely different, and often more beautiful than we imagined. This unpredictability is part of the miracle of growth and change. Just as a garden may surprise us with volunteer plants that appear uninvited yet bring unexpected joy, life's changes often yield blessings we never could have planned. The key is to remain active participants in this process of growth. While we can't control every aspect of how our seeds will develop, we can consistently plant positive seeds through our thoughts, actions, and choices. We can tend to our personal garden by maintaining hope, practicing gratitude, and staying open to the possibilities that each day brings. Every morning offers fresh soil for planting. Every challenge presents an opportunity for growth, and every interaction holds the potential for planting seeds of positive change. Lesson 10. Every ending births new beginnings. Life moves in cycles, constantly flowing between endings and beginnings. Each conclusion, no matter how painful or challenging, carries within it the seeds of something new. When we truly understand this universal truth, we can approach endings not with fear or resistance, but with curiosity and anticipation for what lies ahead. Consider the natural world around us. Trees shed their leaves in autumn, appearing bare and lifeless through winter, only to burst forth with new growth in spring. This cycle of renewal isn't just beautiful, it's necessary. The old must fall away to make room for fresh possibilities. Similarly, our lives require these moments of transition, these endings that clear the path for new adventures. Often, we cling to situations, relationships, or versions of ourselves that no longer serve our highest good. We resist change out of comfort or fear, forgetting that stagnation is contrary to the natural order of life. Every ending we experience, whether it's the conclusion of a relationship, the loss of a job, or the completion of a chapter in our lives, creates space for something more aligned with our growth and evolution. These transitions, while sometimes uncomfortable, are precisely what allow us to evolve. Think about how a butterfly must leave the safety of its cocoon to experience the freedom of flight. The cocoon served its purpose during transformation, but holding onto it would prevent the butterfly from fulfilling its potential. Our endings function in the same way, pushing us beyond our comfort zones into new realms of possibility. The key lies in our perspective. When we view endings solely as losses, we miss the gift of beginning anew. Each conclusion brings with it valuable lessons, experiences, and wisdom that we carry forward into our next chapter. These aren't just platitudes. They're fundamental truths about how life operates. The end of a job might lead to discovering your true calling. A relationship's conclusion might prepare you for the connection you've always deserved. Even the most painful goodbyes can guide us toward unexpected hellos. Consider how many times in your own life an ending has eventually revealed itself as a blessing. Perhaps it was only in retrospect that you could see how necessary that change was for your growth. This pattern repeats itself throughout our lives, teaching us to trust in the process of renewal. Each ending is not just an end in itself, but a doorway to something new. This understanding doesn't mean we shouldn't feel the weight of endings or mourn what we're leaving behind. These feelings are natural and important parts of the process. However, we can hold these emotions while simultaneously remaining open to the possibilities that lie ahead. It's about maintaining faith in life's inherent wisdom and its tendency to lead us exactly where we need to be. The cycle of endings and beginnings also teaches us about resilience. Each time we survive an ending and embrace a new beginning, we build confidence in our ability to adapt and thrive through change. We learn that we're more capable than we imagined, stronger than we knew, and more resilient than we believed possible. Life is constantly inviting us to begin again, to start fresh, to reimagine what's possible. Every ending we experience is life's way of making room for something new to emerge. When we embrace this truth, we can approach endings with grace and openness, knowing that they're not just conclusions but gateways to new possibilities.